Hello everybody, it's Rebecca again, and I'm back with another Breaking Walls episode, a series where we kind of just peel back the curtain and we share a little bit about our life and our business and all of the things that went wrong early on. So a question that I get asked a lot every time I meet someone who comes to find out I own a business is at what point did I leave my job to pursue it full time? So this episode is actually gonna just put it out there for everybody to just listen and watch, so I don't have to keep answering the same question. But basically, I started the business in 2014, so that's when I got serious about camera work, and I started taking money for the jobs that I was doing. So at that point, it wasn't just a hobby, but that doesn't mean I left my job at that point. I was working in an office, I had a great salary, I had great pay, but I was in an accounting department, and anyone who comes to know me understands that I just can't stay in a box. I don't know, it's just not me. But I kept doing it because I needed something stable, I needed something financial so that I can, kind of pursue my hobby more intensely on the side. I couldn't just do that full time. There wasn't enough money in it yet. But as I was working, doing this accounting stuff, I was constantly listening to podcasts. That's when podcasts were just kind of starting to peak up. But one of the things that I listened to all of the time were podcasts about social media marketing. I have no idea why, but I just found it fascinating. I hate social media. I absolutely hate it. But I love it as a business tool because it's free, and as long as you put in the time and you do it strategically, it can do wonders and it can make you a lot of money. So at the time, I was working accounting, listening to a bunch of podcasts, learning all about social media marketing. And there came a point in that job where I didn't want to feel like I was wasting away my life in a cubicle. So I just did something crazy, and I don't recommend anybody doing it, but I pretty much just made up a resume. I made up a resume of jobs that I did not have, of skills that I knew, but I had never tested out. I just sent it to this one job listing. I didn't, spam it out to the world so they can cross-reference and say, hey, she's lying. I just found one job opening and I said, hey, I'm just gonna try it. So I sent my resume in and I actually got a call back. So I went into the interview and I realized it was this very, very small startup environment, which was perfect because everybody was kind of learning as they were going, which was an ideal situation for me to kind of take what I knew and actually practice it on something that I could see results with, or see what worked and what didn't. The lady was fantastic. She was totally on board. She was impressed with my enthusiasm and just the knowledge that I had going into the position. And so she brought me on full time. So I worked for them a long time and I loved what I did. It was fantastic, and honestly, it was one of the best jobs I think I've ever had, because how great is it to walk in every day and just be given a box of dollar store props and for someone to say, just make something awesome. It was awesome. I loved that job. Unfortunately, they actually went under, so they closed the business. So I was, invited into the boss's office, and I was sat down and was told, unfortunately, by Friday, you're no longer gonna be employed by this company, not because of anything you did, but because we're no longer gonna be a company anymore. And so I just kind of sat there holy crap, okay, well, I was not expecting this at all, because I thought everything was great in the business, but some things, just life happens and things don't go the way that you want them to. And so that night I went home and I'm sitting there thinking crap, I need to figure out how I'm gonna make money because I don't have a job past this weekend. And I kind of just took getting laid off and getting fired as a sign to say okay, now's the time, do it. Do your job full time, do your hobby full time. I think as entrepreneurs in general, we're always a little bit timid when it comes to starting new ventures, that it's almost inspiring when you get a kick when you weren't expecting it. I wasn't expecting to get fired, but it helped me in so many ways because I don't know if I'd ever feel comfortable enough to take that leap if I didn't just get the rug pulled out from under me. So I got fired and I just started going on Fiverr, going on Upwork, calling Craigslist people, just trying everything I could to land clients myself. And within, kid you not, 2 weeks, I had 4 residual clients month to month where I was managing their social platforms. It wasn't quite the salary I was getting, but it was my whole salary, and it was things that I was doing and with clients that I was working with. So there was no brand documentation that I had to stay within every day. I was working with different people, I was working with different products, and I'm taking all of the knowledge that I learned both in accounting and listening to those podcasts, and as well as just product stuff and SEO and doing listings like I did for the job that laid me off. So in the end, it was awesome. It was a blessing in disguise. I got that kick and that push to just take the leap and say, hey, I'm a business owner now that I don't otherwise feel like I would have done. I get asked all the time, how did I know it was a good time? How did I know that this was the right thing to do? And I didn't. Quite frankly, I didn't. I just kept working every day thinking, hey, what do I need to do today to make sure my bills are paid? Then I wake up the next day. What things have to get done today that I get my bills paid? And when you start thinking like that more often, you know, 5-6 years later, you're still in business and your company's growing. So that's the story of how I took the leap and made this a full-time business. It's unconventional, but it worked for me. Everybody has their own journey, and I hope yours is just as crazy. Thank you again for watching. This is another episode of our Breaking Walls series. We've been getting a lot of great feedback about these videos, so if you guys have any topics or questions that you want me to answer, or anybody on my team to kind of peel back the curtain and show you the answers or how we did something, just feel free to leave us a note, because the feedback is great and we love making these, so we'll keep doing it until you guys tell us to stop. Stay tuned, the next one's coming soon, and until then, we'll just see you later. Okay, bye.